In most classes, reading is a requirement. You have to typically read a textbook, sometimes article, and other course material. But reading alone is not sufficient. You have to be able to read actively in order to understand the material. In this video, we will discuss how to read actively using the P2R method, which stands for preview, read, and review. Hi, everyone. My name is Yoav. I'm a professor, and I teach people life, learning, and leadership skills in order to transform their world as part of the 3Ls Academy. The P2R methods stands for preview, read, and review. The first step in this method is to preview the material before you actually read it. So when you open a chapter in a textbook, the first thing you want to do is read the introduction and then stop and think, what is a chapter about? Then read the learning objectives, if there are any, and then you can use those learning objectives to figure out what you need to learn while you're doing the reading. Afterwards, skip right over to the summary and read the summary. The summary will tell you what you should have learned once you read the chapter. And finally, go to the end of the chapter and see if there are any review questions. Read these questions and think about it for a little bit. Do you know the answer? And if you don't, you can look for the answer while you're doing the reading. The next step in the P2R method is to read, but not just read, you have to read actively. So you read a couple of paragraphs at a time and then go back and highlight the most important concept in that section. So it can include key terms, important examples, or something that you don't understand and you want to go back to. You could potentially use different colors for highlighting. For example, one color for key terms, one color for key concept, one color for equations, and a fourth color for questions that you might have. If you're reading electronically, such if you have a digital textbook, you can use an e-reader to highlight the chapter virtually and then save your highlighted parts. An example of such e-reader is FoolReader, which you can use on an iPad, an iPhone, a Samsung device, and other devices as well. When you're done reading, you need to move to step 3, which is to review what you read. Begin by looking at your highlighted part and see if you have any additional thoughts and questions about them. It's not enough to read the material, you have to reflect on it and see if it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, you may want to search a little bit further by either going online doing some searching or by writing down a question that you can then ask the teacher or the tutors in this class. Go then to the end of the chapter and answer some of those questions. This question may be assigned to you by the professor, but even if they're not assigned to you by the teacher, you want to go over those questions and to make sure that you did understand the course material and maybe even outline the answer. Write down any question that you might have on a separate paper and then ask those questions of your classmates, the tutors, or the teacher. The important thing is that you have a comprehension of the material when you're done. So this video reviewed the P2R method, which includes previewing, reading, and reviewing. Once you complete this method, you should ideally have a highlighted section. Then you can take that section and put all the key concepts and terms and equation on one page that you can then use to review for an exam or to use on a homework assignment. I hope this video was helpful for you. And as always, I wish you happy learning.